What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Cole Runner. You know, I'm back. Got another video today. Today I'm gonna be talking about this rap civil war BS that's going on. Cause I find it interesting. I actually like Kendrick, Cole, and I'm okay with Drake. You know, I don't really care too much about him, but you know, I like the other two. So I'm gonna talk about the first round of this. If you're wondering what I got on my head, it's a scarf. I just did my hair, so there's that. You know, go follow my Instagram, TikTok. I got a clothing brand page, Lost Soul. You can go follow that. And yeah, let's hop into the video. So now that the intro's out of the way, I think we should talk about it. The whole rap beef going on. Apparently, since I don't really care too much to look into every little detail, Drake has been sending shots at Kendrick for the past 10 years to the point where Kendrick has had a diss track, allegedly, in the vault for 4 years. That's kind of crazy. But, so yeah, as you know, Kendrick dropped Euphoria to respond to Drake. Drake dropping Give Me 50 to respond to like 12, 15 people. But it's just Metro Boomin, Future, Rick Ross, and Kendrick, you know. And J. Cole dropped 7 Minute Drill. Now, before I get into the real deep parts, I'm gonna say where I stand on this. Personally, J. Cole is my favorite, right? I like J. Cole the most out of them. I know it's been really popular lately to just tear down everything J. Cole has done because you don't like him. And that's fine. Everybody's opinion is valid sometimes. Just don't say stupid stuff like Yeet or Playboi Carti are better than J. Cole. That's stupid. I made a video about that on my TikTok, you know, plug it real quick. Somebody came out and said Young Thug is a better rapper than J. Cole, and I just have to disagree, right? Even though J. Cole is my favorite, objectively, Kendrick is the best out of the three of them. But going into the dynamic between the three of them, I think it's super important to look at it in a different way because they're all really good at certain things. Like Drake, his main selling point, I'm gonna make a hit. I don't care what I gotta do to get this hit. If I gotta go talk to the newest, hottest people out right now, like he did a song with Sexy Red. He did a song with Yeet. He do a song with you if you blowing up. Like Dirk in 2020. Lil Baby. If he sees that you wanna come up, he gonna wanna do a song with you. He even linked with Ice Spice to see if they could get something going. Nothing happened. But, you know, that's just the way things happen. He's gonna be that I'm at the top. He makes commercial music. He doesn't really go too much into the artistry as much as J. Cole or Kendrick do. And I think that is perfectly okay. He knows what he wants to do. He wants to be a commercial, real top tier artist. And that's fine. You know he's going, every time he drops an album, is gonna be #1. One of the songs on there is gonna be a #1 hit, and that's fine. Drake has charted way more times than either of the two in the big three. But the reason that we call them the big three is because they do things separately and different, right? Kendrick is on the other side of the spectrum. He don't care about commercial success. He don't care about the publicity of the fans or anything like that. All he cares about is making good quality music. He makes art, essentially. Each one of his projects has a theme that if you go into it looking at this theme, you're gonna be like, yeah, okay, yeah, this is a really good, solid project. Like Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. These are all albums with themes to express his artistic vision, right? So that is what people go to Kendrick for, to be artsy and stuff, to have, you know, a deep conversation about things. And he is that voice in rap where you can say, okay, yes, I understand everything that's coming with this and his art. This isn't music, this is art, right? Why I like J. Cole the most is because he's in the middle of those two. Yes, he can be very creative and he can do the artsy shit. But he also can do the commercial stuff, but he chooses not to. He's always in the middle. He's gonna make a song that's mixed with, you know, real heavy bars, really good rap stuff, real talking about the culture, but he's also gonna make it not gonna say dumb it down, but he can put it in a way that for the average rap fan who would probably listen to Drake can see that this is really good rap. The average rap fan most likely is not going to listen to Kendrick, but he can appeal to the average rap fan more than Kendrick can. I'm not saying Kendrick is bad, but J. Cole just has that extra element above Kendrick when it comes to appealing to the average rap fan. And that dynamic between the three of them is just that it is. You know, they can all put out artsy projects to truly express themselves and the things that they are going through. Drake doesn't, even though he probably could if he wanted to. And he has before in his like really earlier days where he was thinking about being a lover boy. He can do it. He just chooses not to because he's chosen the route of commercial success over the artistic side. J. Cole is once again doing both. In his For Your Eyes Only project, which was an art project, a project of him expressing himself. It was a personal album, as RDC would say. That was some of his best work. But charting wise, the only song that the average person has probably heard from that is Neighbors. And that is a really good song, but the average person isn't going to go listen to it because it doesn't have the, you know, consumability that Drake songs do. And Kendrick, the average rap fan that listens to Young Thug, Future, Yeat, they're not really listening to Kendrick. Even if they say they are, they're not listening to his deeper stuff. They might listen to Damn or Humble, maybe even, what's it called? I don't remember. Maybe Blacker the Berry, Sweeter the Juice, or King Kunta. But even those have a level of depth to them that the average fan, rap fan, probably won't go for. Which is why I like when it came out that when Kendrick threw those like genuine shots on Like That, I was like, okay, maybe we'll get some real, you know, competition in art between the three of them. And I would love that. If it was just friendly fade, which it started out like, and everybody was saying, yes, Kendrick is bringing competition back to rap. Okay, you know, I'm fine with that. I would love competition back in rap. I want to see these artists, the top three artists, drop every other week just to go back and forth with each other, or every 2 weeks. Like, that's all we need. But that's not what happened because it came out. Yeah, no. When Cole dropped 7 Minute Drill, I think that is when he realized, and everybody else realized, because a day or two later, Metro Boomin dropped his second follow-up album to Diss Drake, and everybody was on that. This wasn't about like competition, right? We all thought it was bringing competition back to rap. It wasn't bringing competition back to rap. They hate Drake, and for valid reasons apparently. But you know, because they hate Drake, and Cole thought it was just competition. He thought they was gonna go back and forth over the beats. No, that was beef. That wasn't competition, that was beef. So I can see why people got upset when he pulled out, but it makes the most sense. He, out of all we know, he stays out of the way most of the time, right? Except that one beef that he had with No Name, where he may have dissed her in a song or not. That wasn't really beef, right? Because I don't care about that situation. I don't think many people do. Only people that don't like J. Cole care about that situation, right? So when it came out that it was just rap beef and not competition, J. Cole backed out. Drake stepped up to the plate and dropped and Give Me 50. I thought it was a funny song, and honestly, it was decent. Like, I'm not gonna go too deep into it. I'm not a Drake Glazer or Kendrick Glazer or Cole Glazer, right? But when it came to that track, he talked about percentages between Kendrick and Top Dog. He talked to Rick Ross. He talked to Metro. He talked to Future. And he realized that he was the big main bad guy that everybody was going against. And that was probably like the biggest thing at that point, which is why I guess J. Cole stepped out. You know, he didn't beef with these people. He knew these people. There was no beef between them. It wasn't competition at that point. Drake realized that he has to step up to the plate and defend himself, and he did it. He did it adequately. And he started doing too much with the AI tracks and with Tupac and stuff. That wasn't necessary. He could have just kept egging Kendrick on to drop. But hey, oh well, right? Yeah. And then, we get to where we are now, right? A few weeks pass, 2-3 weeks maybe, since since Drake dropped his track on Kendrick, Rick Ross, all them, right? Kendrick comes back with Euphoria, right? I personally liked, if I were to rank all the diss songs, it'd be Euphoria, 7 Minute Drill, Drop and Give Me 50. But then it just depends, honestly. If it comes to just like songs, overall, 7 Minute Drill is dead last. But if it comes to addressing like disses and stuff, I'd have 7 Minute Drill over Drop and Give Me 50. But Euphoria is just number one overall. And when he dropped Euphoria, right? He came at Drake head on. He talked about literally everything. To the BBL, to him being a bad father, I guess. To him, being real feminine and his lack of blackness. And I think, hey, that's a valid critique. He is a Canadian man, right? He didn't grow up in America. So his understanding of the black man and him trying to fit in with the idea of what a black man in America is, it's something that probably needs to be addressed. He takes a lot from African American culture when he's not an African American. He's a Canadian American. He's not Canadian American. That's stupid. He's an African Canadian, he's a Jewish black, a white mixed Jewish Canadian. Yeah, so it's a valid critique, honestly, which is why I say, okay, now some people have issue that these were already, dropped things. Drake was called a bad dad in 2018, right, by Pusha T. I think it was 2018, I don't remember. Yeah, it was 2018 because he had just dropped Scorpion, which was an okay album, I guess. So talking about it now, even though we know Drake has definitely stepped up in his role as a father, it's a critique. I wouldn't have gone there. I would have started calling him a pedophile, like outright. He never said it outright, but he should have said it outright. The white thing, Rick Ross made a whole song about it. I didn't even know Rick Ross still rapped. I thought his last song was in like 2016. He also mentioned the BBL and the abs thing too. The whiteness, yeah. So almost all these points have been covered by somebody in a diss on Drake. So it's never really, I'm not saying it's bad. He definitely elaborated on it more. Even if it was or wasn't necessary, that's up to you to decide, because I don't really care. I liked the diss. It was straightforward. He didn't go into too many triple or double entendres like he normally does. He just went straight forward, making fun of Drake, doing everything on a nice beat. He said, we don't want to hear you say the N-word no more. That was hilarious. He didn't have to go too in deep with it, and I like that, because normally, Kendrick Meat Glazers, they would have put up the Genius and said, hey, this is what every bar means. Every bar has 14 different meanings. It didn't do that. No, he just went straight in directly, which is something I really like. Overall, round one of the beef, I'd say it's a draw, honestly. Outside of, because I don't even count that AI diss track that Drake did. Drop and Give Me 50, it wasn't directly aimed at Kendrick. It was aimed at like 4 or 5 people. Kendrick dropped a whole 6-minute song on Drake. If Drake responds with a 10-15 minute song, I doubt he will. I don't even think he has the capacity to do that. But if he responds for like a 4-minute song, just going in on Kendrick, we have to see. But I'm gonna call it a draw, -1, a draw and a forfeit, because J. Cole dropped out. I respect it, but whatever. He dropped out. He's a pussy, I guess. I don't think so, but it wasn't his fight to begin with, more or less. But yeah, that was all. That's just my thoughts about it, and how the dynamic between the three of them are. But so that's the video. Probably a little bit longer than my last video, because I like this topic, right? Rap is always something I like to talk about. I'm kind of you know, and I've seen, I'm not gonna make the outro too long, but I'm gonna just touch this point. I've seen people pick at J. Cole for also being light skinned, saying he can't say the N word either. It's not even about having white moms or black dads. I think it's more like J. Cole, he said Drake can't say the N word because he isn't like an American black man. He tries to emulate a lot of American black culture when he's not an American black man. Even sometimes he'll hide his accent, and that's not something, you know, he should have been ashamed of. He just needs to admit that he's Canadian, he's not American. I'm sure he'll say he's Canadian, but he tries to emulate American culture a lot. So that's that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video. I appreciate you for being here, and if you watch the whole way through, I have mad love for you. Cole Runner, Instagram, TikTok, Lost Soul. I post more on TikTok about more content and more things. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you. Peace.